Hey, Will Galloway, Uncle Bill by Houses. Welcome to Real Estate Pays Me YouTube channel. This is my YouTube channel. Guys, we're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, so go ahead and show your boy some love and go ahead and click that subscribe button. But in today's episode, we're going to be breaking down the common myths versus the reality of renting to Section 8 tenants. We're going to break it all the way down today's episode. Let's go.
I've been blessed to make some money off of real estate. Subscribe to the channel, I can show the way. Uncle Bill buy houses, let them demonstrate. Uncle Bill buy houses, let them demonstrate. Real estate crazy, know that God made me. Real estate pay me, real estate pay me. Just tune in now. Real estate pay me, real estate pay me, real estate pay me.
All right, guys, so we back, man. Let's get into it because this is a very, very hot topic. I got my notes today on my phone, so I'm gonna break down some of the common myths and just, it's just a lot of like bad information out there when it comes to Section 8 tenants. So let me just break it down. I mean, first off, my name is Will Galloway, Uncle Bill by Houses. I've been in the business of real estate since 2013, and right now, currently, as we speak on today's video, I have 15 rental properties that I own free and clear. So I have a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of expertise when it comes to the topic. And I've been renting with Section 8 probably for about 7 to 8 years right now. So I got, I'm here in Atlanta. Most of my properties are in the City of Atlanta Housing Authority. Shout out to Atlanta Housing Authority, DeKalb Housing Authority, Jonesboro Housing Authority, and DCA. So those are some of the ones that I've currently been working with. And I just want to, just break down some of the myths and some of just the misinformation that's out there. So one of the looking at my notes, one of the most common things that's talked about is, are Section 8 tenants bad, right? Are they bad? Do they tear up your property? And I just want to say, if you go on my social media, my Instagram page or my TikTok channel at Uncle Bill Buys Houses, make sure you follow me. I have videos that's showing like how my tenants take care of my properties when they turn it back over to me. I had a couple of tenants, I had one video go viral. It went like 1 million views on Facebook and TikTok. And it was basically just, a lot of, me showing like, when a tenant turned my property back over to me, I'm going through doing a video walkthrough, showing the property and showing the condition of the property. And you'll be surprised that, most of my tenants that do eventually move out, and a lot of them don't want to move out, it'd be for whatever reason. Sometimes they got to relocate. Sometimes they voucher number changes. So if they have a 3-bedroom voucher and it goes to a 4, they may have to upgrade. So if I don't have any availability, unfortunately, they may have to move for whatever reason. It don't be because of me. It just be for whatever their own personal reason is. But back to, what I was saying, when I do a video walkthrough, basically the property is almost the same condition that they gave it to me. Now, keep in mind, out of all the tenants that I've ever rented out to, I'll say there was only maybe 1, possibly 2 instances where the property was a little bit, out of the ordinary, right? But again, if you think about your own personal house, if you've been living in it 3 to 5 years, there's going to be normal wear and tear with any property, right? And also one thing, keep in mind that most Section 8 tenants, they have an obligation to be able to take care of your property because one, there's annual inspections that are be done every single year, right? So when the annual inspection is done every single year, that inspector is going to see what repairs need to be done. So some of those repairs or a lot of those repairs, maybe the landlord is going to be responsible for, but there are certain instances where the tenant is responsible. For example, I just had a recent inspection with one of my tenants, and it's her first year moving in. She had her year anniversary already, so she just had an inspection the other day. And when the inspector came in there, he saw that the kitchen cabinet door was taken off, right? And it was damaged. So he made where that was the tenant's responsibility, right? So there's going to be certain things. Now, your responsibility probably would be like if the appliance is not working, if, some of the plugs not working, some of the lighting fixtures not working, if there's something done that's, dealing with wear and tear of the property. But if it's negligence of the tenant, 9 times out of 10, they're going to make them responsible for that. Also, keep in mind that with Section 8 tenants, they do not want to jeopardize losing their voucher or you terminating the lease, right? If you have your lease properly, right, you can have it set up to where, like, if they do anything out of the ordinary or they damage the property at any given time, you have the opportunity to terminate that lease. Now, I don't advise this, but I mean, it is an option. With that being said, if you was to evict them, if you was to take them to court, if you was to try to get them out of the house for termination of the contract, then if they have an eviction on their record, right, and it's reported to the housing authority, they can jeopardize losing their license. So that's one of the reasons why a lot of them, they take care of their properties, right? And they, I'm not saying all of them, take care of them, because everybody lives differently, right? But it's unfortunate, and it's not fair to judge someone who's on Section 8 compared to somebody who's living rent to rent, just regular paying tenant. I've had regular paying tenants that I've dealt with in the past that, maybe they got behind, and for whatever reason, when it was time for them to move and we were trying to get them out of the house, they damaged the property, right? And these are not Section 8 tenants. These were regular paying tenants. So I just want to just shut that myth down, because you can get a regular tenant paying for a property and they can tear your property up. And I see nightmare stories of this all the time. So I just want to make sure that I emphasize that enough. If you are considering Section 8, if you are considering this route, it doesn't matter. It's, they're not going to mess your property up. I'm saying 9 times out of 10 they won't, because again, they have a lot of rules and regulations that they committed to once they signed those documents for the government program that they had to abide by. Let's keep it going. So another misconception is Section 8 pays below market rent, right? So a lot of people think that I don't want to rent to Section 8 because they pay below market rent, and I want more from my property, right? And based on my experience, and every area is different, of course, but based on my experience, Section 8 does pay market rent, right? So they do run comps the same way we run comps. They run their comps, they use comps from the MLS. MLS has rental comps. So they do use those type of comps to justify, what would they pay for your property, right? One of the tools you can use just to get a ballpark, it's not completely accurate, but just to get a ballpark, you can go to HUD.gov and you put in your city and zip code, and a lot of times it'll tell you, hold tight. I know you enjoying this video. Hey, I just wanted to take some time to introduce you to my newest community inside of the school platform. It's called the Flip University. Now, once you get inside of the Flip University, you'll instantly have access to over 5 courses that's already uploaded in there, going over wholesaling, creative financing, just real estate in general, marketing. You'll have access to all of these courses already once you get inside. We also have a general discussion tab, so anytime you get stuck, you got a question, somebody, either me or somebody on my team, will answer that question on the go. And also we do weekly Zoom coaching calls, right? So if you want to jump on a call, you want to go over something, you got a question, you want to go over a deal, anything you want to talk about, you'll have access to me and my team on those Zoom weekly coaching calls. One of the best things I like about the community is I've started implementing one live in-person walkthroughs of one of my properties here in Atlanta. That's right, you get a chance to come to Atlanta, you get a chance to meet me in person at one of my properties. It might be one of my rentals, one of my fix and flips. You'll be able to walk through these properties. You'll be able to ask me any question you want to about the property or anything you got going on. This is what I have for you inside of the Flip University. Hands down, best thing going right now. If you want to get started, you get a chance to vibe and network with other like-minded individuals. So if you want to know a little bit more about the Flip University, click the link in the bio somewhere. You'll see the post. All right, get back to the video. Let's go. Tell you in your area what they will pay, so you can get a ballpark figure if it's close to about where you need to be. And I use that. And then also just keep in mind, whatever price you put on your RTA, your paperwork that you got to turn in, everything's negotiable, right? So you might put $1,800 on your RTA paperwork, and when you submit it to the housing authority, you might put $1,800. They may come back and say, oh, in this area, based on it being a 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom, but keep in mind, they only pay a certain amount per bedroom. The bathrooms don't really matter, but it's per bedroom. So they pay a certain amount for 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, and so on and so on. So they cap off at a certain amount. So you got to keep in mind that if, the max is for a 3-bedroom in your area, $1,800, that might be the max. You might put in there, you want $2,000. They might say, hey, we offer you $1,600. But then you might come back and say, hey, I'll do $1,700 or $1,800. They might say, how our max in that area for a 3-bedroom is $1,800. That's the max. We can't go over that amount. So it's up to you at that point to be able to negotiate with them, or to agree or disagree. That's your choice. Everything's negotiable. So that's a good thing I do like about it. Nothing's set in stone. And then sometimes you can contest, like if they send you a lower amount, you can contest and say, you know what, I got my own rental comps. And you can get some MLS comps. You can get one of your realtors to pull you some MLS comps. You can provide your comps in that area where your property is, and you can justify back and forth. And that'll be your justification on why you feel your property is, a little bit higher rent than what maybe they presented to you. Let's keep it going. And another myth is once you accept Section 8, can you evict the tenant? So yes, you can evict the tenant if they ever get behind. So keep in mind, when they're on the housing program, they will a lot of times housing, depending on what their income is, a lot of times, and these are tenants I like, when housing pays 100% of their rent, because now I'm not worried about trying to, get the rent amount from the tenant. I know every first of the month, my income, my check is going to, my wire is going to be in my account. But sometimes, depending on their income, they may have to pay a portion. So that portion, I have tenants that may pay $50, $100, $200, depending on whatever their income is. You have to make sure you get that amount for them. Now, there has been times in the past, I've experienced this myself, where some tenants will, if they got a $50 or $100 amount that they have to pay, sometimes they be late, or sometimes they may go months without even paying it because they'll think, you're not even worried about it. So you have to stay on top of that. And yes, you can. If you report that to the caseworker, yes, they will tell you, hey, that's up to you. If we paid our part. If you want to take them to court, if you want to evict that tenant, by all means, you have the right to do so. So that'll be up to you as a landlord to decide if you want to go through the trouble of evicting them. You have to do your numbers, how much your vacancy will be if you get them out of the property per month times, they got a $50, $30 a month, rent portion. I'm not saying give them a pass, but again, you would have to do your numbers and see what makes sense for you. Let's keep it going. So again, the myth, do they destroy properties? I've already answered that question. And I mean, for the most part, I just want to just say that I believe that this is a really, really good source. If you are a landlord and you're looking for stability, you're looking for guaranteed income, trust me, guys, this is what you want to do. You want to go with Section 8. And I just, again, I just want to just put that myth to bed that that Section 8 tenants are bad. They tear your properties up. You don't get the good rent. Do you get your money on time? Yes, I get my money between the 1st and the 3rd of the month, guaranteed. It don't never be, no question asked. And I also like the fact that it's recession proof, right? Meaning that even back when COVID happened years ago, I had a lot of colleagues who had properties dealing with regular tenants. When COVID happened and the whole world shut down and jobs was laying off and jobs had shut down and couldn't nobody go to work, people couldn't pay their mortgages, people couldn't pay their rents. But guess what? The housing authority kept wiring that money into my account every month. And I had friends who it literally took them almost a year, 6 months to a year to get these tenants out because they had got so behind. I didn't have to worry about that because that guaranteed rent from Section 8 pretty much was in my account every first of the month. So guys, hopefully this video was able to help you get over that myth of, getting over that scare. Again, some of the cons that people don't like is if something goes wrong with your property that, they can dock your pay, which is true, right? But we're not slumlords, and we're going to make sure our properties are in the best condition. And we're going to make sure that any repairs that come, I make sure that any of my tenants that call me with a repair is taken care of within 24 to 48 hours, guys. And if they do an inspection every year, I want to make sure that my property is up in good standards as well. So I'm okay with an inspection. You may not be. So you just have to, see if that fits you. And if you're the type of person that want to keep up your properties, you want to keep them in good condition, or if you're a slumlord and you're looking at this and you're not trying to make no repairs, you're not trying to put no more money in your property, then this might not be a fit for you. So hopefully that helped you guys. And I'm looking forward to you continuously watching my next video, related to the same topic or something similar to real estate. My goal in this channel, Real Estate Pays Me, is for you to be able to, just learn and grow in real estate and get a bag and make some money. So go ahead and tap in, subscribe with your boy on this channel. We're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. So help me toward that journey. I'll see you on the